On this episode of The Back and Forth, we're going to discuss what happens when a father decides that he doesn't want to be the daddy anymore. Let's go. In 3, 2, and 1. Welcome everybody to The Back and Forth. I am Kevin and this is my co-host
Chanel. Hello everybody.
Woo, she's coming in with energy today. Energy. Hey, welcome to another great week on The Back and Forth. We got a great topic for you. But before we get started, I want to make sure that I take care of all the formalities by telling you all to hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. And thank you all for showing up to watch the episode. And hit those buttons so you know the next time we put another great episode out there. And if you got nothing else to do, go through and peruse through everything else we've had out there. We've had over 50 some odd episodes out there. You got a little bit of time, go ahead and take a look at them. Just let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you think. It'd be good to hear from you. But, no buts. And, Chanel,
Yes.
you always finding stuff or me finding stuff, and we have these topics that come up out there. And today's topic is especially interesting because it's almost like a role reversal type thing. We have an article that we ran across about a young lady who's refusing a paternity test from her dad because he doesn't think that she's his. And so I'll go into a little bit of the detail of it. This young lady who's a teenager now, she's 16 years old. She's been with her dad all her life. Her mom ran out on them when she was 8. So he's been raising her by himself for 8 years. And something came up because now he's thinking that the child is not his. And so he wants a paternity test. But here's the spin. She doesn't have to give up her blood. So now what? So he's stuck with a child that he doesn't think is his. And she doesn't want to and she thinks that she's his child and she's 16 years old. So, Chanel, just off the top of that right there, I just gave you the top layer of the cake right there. How does that sound to you?
Woo. I have a theory, Kev. I have
Okay.
a theory. And we'll go more into the legalities of this story. But I have a theory. You know, this girl is 16 years old. Girls generally are a little bit more expensive than boys simply because there's a lot that kind of is customary for our culture concerning our daughters, right? So we're talking about college, we're talking about weddings, we're talking about, still supporting her until she does get married in some way, shape, or form, depending on how he raised her. And I think it's getting down to the wire. You know, he's thinking about all of the stuff that's getting ready to come up because the article talked about he had 8 years or 8 years ago, he could have gotten this done. She was 8 years old. So I don't think that was at the forefront of his mind with her being 8 years old. Whereas now she's probably looking at colleges, wanting to go to college visits and things like that. I think it's all like coming down on him. And he might be thinking, there's a possibility I cannot be a part of this mess. Perhaps. What are your thoughts about my theory, Kev?
Well, I mean, theories are just like buttholes. Everybody has one.
Seriously, that's what we're gonna do on this particular topic. We're
Hey,
talking about the biggest butthole right now, and we're gonna talk about. Okay, go ahead, Kev. Go ahead. I'm not trying to steal your thunder. Go ahead, sir.
check this out, Chanel. You gave this man an out. I'm not giving this man no out clause because he's looking at college and the money and everything. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the emotional damage that he's about to do to a child, that he's doing to the child right now. If you don't think that you're my dad, and I'm 16 years old, I've been with you all my life, and my mom ran out on us, the article says that She says that her mom ran away to another country with some guy when she was 8 years old and left. And lately, her dad's gotten really sure she was cheating on him long before that, and she's actually someone else's baby. So she's 16 now. She was 8 when the mom left, ran off with somebody else, and left them. We've talked about something like this before, and we're talking about the McDonald's and the dad bringing McDonald's over for the kid, for his child, not the other lady's children. And we talked about the communication aspect behind it because it all could have been avoided. If he thought that she was not his child, he could have got a paternity test when she was born. But I'm quite sure they probably didn't because they probably were in love. They were married or whatever. So we didn't worry about that kind of stuff. So this must be some kind of new dude here. What kind of new dude is going to wait till his daughter is 16 years old and start questioning paternity? What is there to be gained from this? And we wonder why some of our children nowadays have daddy issues. If I don't think you love me, then I'm going to go seeking love somewhere else to replace what you are not giving me or what I think is missing, which sometimes ends up with a young lady ending up with an older man or in an abusive relationship because she's trying to search for something that she can't get at home. So I took this there because this is deeper than him looking for, how much it's costing to be raising a daughter or everything. We talk about emotional costs that you can't cover. It's too expensive. You can't cover the damage that you're about to cause to this young lady. She already doesn't have a mom. That's not in her life right now. And now the dad that she's known all her life is about to try to bail on her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev, I was not giving him an out. I definitely want to make that clear. I was not giving him an out. I was just trying to make this make sense. And it still doesn't make sense from the young lady's perspective, of course. I was just trying to figure out why this even was even a thing, just trying to put that piece together. However, whether he's the father or not, he played a major role in her life for her entire life.
Yeah.
Her entire life. So she's common law daughter, if biologically or whatever the case may be. So like you said, they were in love at the time, and he probably, I don't know if he had suspicions when she was born or not or whatever, but clearly those suspicions wasn't strong enough for when the mom left for him to act upon that. My thought process about it is he had grown to love her even at that point in time, to continue taking care of her at 8 years old, and then for 8 more years after that. He didn't send her back. He didn't send her to her mom. He didn't ask the grandmother to raise her. Like, from what it sounds like, he was a responsible father that was raising a responsible young lady, because she says, I make good grades, I don't make bad decisions and things like that. So he had some type of impact. And so I'm just trying to figure out what was the psychological break that he had to even come at this angle. Like, I feel like just reading it just completely catches us off guard, like it did the young lady. Like, wait a minute, what happened?
Well, Chanel, you know where I'm about to go, and we haven't gone there in a long time. And it sounds like somebody need to get the F out of here.
I'm not falling for that today, Kev.
I mean, the F stands for feelings. And he's in his feelings right now.
About though?
He's in his feelings thinking that mom was sleeping around with somebody else and this young lady's not his. And he doesn't want to raise somebody else. He said he didn't want to raise some other man's child.
But this is 16 years. This girl's 16 years old.
The clock doesn't matter to him right now. When you are in your feelings, things become cloudy. You don't see things like normal people see. I see 1+1 is 2. When you're in your feelings, 1+1 could equal 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like right now, my glass is blurry. I don't touch my lens.
But Kev,
But what? He's in his feelings. It's showing it right there.
but
He
Kev,
said it.
the best time to be in his feelings would have been 8 years ago when the mom literally left him.
You can't. Are you
Is it
really
just now
trying to
dawning on
be?
him that she's with somebody else?
Are you trying to be logical in feelings or emotion situation right now? That sounds like what you're trying
Well,
to do. You're trying to be
when I was
logical.
trying to do that at first, you were like, "Oh, Chanel's giving him an out." I was just trying to make this make sense because if you're in your feelings, you should have been in your feelings when she left, not
He
eight
was
years
probably, but
later.
he just didn't know what to do. He didn't want to probably. The young lady, his daughter was with him at that time. He couldn't just abandon her then.
But he wants to abandon her now.
Feelings. Feelings don't have no
Okay,
clock.
I
Feelings
think
don't
my
have no
theory was a
clock.
little bit better than that.
No, Chanel. I understand what you were saying. You were trying to give logic and reason to maybe why he's doing something. I'm telling you
Yes.
right now what it is. It is feelings. His emotions are involved in this. He doesn't want to raise some other man's child. Lo and behold, the other man might be him. Doofus.
Yes, a whole different personality. Maybe he's having a psychological break.
And then what if he go? What if she was to get the blood, go do the blood work, and go in there and find out he is the father? Now, how does that make him feel? He's gonna be embarrassed. She's gonna be hurt because right now it already said the girl. She said that right now it says the girl said his newfound suspicions have really hurt her feelings, noting that she is not a difficult kid. And guess good, like
I
you
have
said.
another.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
another theory. I just have it, when you read that and said that it just something else clicked. And
What's
this is
that?
good for you co-parents that are dating. Perhaps he finally got to a point where he's ready to date. And he maybe talked about his daughter and talked about why he's a single father raising his daughter. And the other woman put all these suspicions in his head. Kev, she put all them suspicions in it because he wasn't thinking nothing like that for 16 years. And he started talking to this woman, and she got jealous of his relationship with his daughter, and she put all of these crazy feelings in his head. Now what? I've seen it.
I'm, let's get biblical here. Remember the story of Samson and Delilah?
Mm-hmm.
And he was told not to reveal his weakness. And so he did everything he could do to keep Delilah out of his hair. He told her, he gave her false stories and stuff like that, and she tried on him and it wouldn't work. And she wore him down so much to the point where he finally gave up the goods. God told him, do not give it up. Do not tell. But she wore him down so much that he gave it up. If that theory that you just used is true, that means that his new lady friend, could be a wife, I don't know who it is, could be in his ear so much, has beat him down to the point so much where he is actually thinking now that this young lady is not his because of some other lady who was not part of his life when this young lady was born. So she's known him longer than this new lady has known him.
Yes.
And so if that is the case, and you as co-parents out there, listen to what I'm about to say. Yes, you may love your new spouse or your new girlfriend, your new significant other, your new partner. Your children still, at the end of the day, still should be coming first. I didn't say you put your children in front of everything despite you. That's a self-care issue because you still got to make sure you're taking care of yourself because you're no good to nobody else if you can't take care of yourself. However, when it comes to this right here, if you let somebody else get in your ear and they take away from your child the thing that you are supposed to be giving to them, which is love, affection, security, trust. If they are chipping away at that and they take that away from your child, then you, my friend, are a sad excuse for a parent. because you cannot do that to a child. Because you do that to a child today, it could affect them years from now. And they'll end up in counseling if they so desire to go to one, because they're trying to fix those issues that you have put on them right now because of something that you're not secure about. So please be careful with this. Chanel, that was a good theory. I like that theory. That was a good butthole right there.
Well, see, I've seen this happen, Kev. I've seen this.
Okay.
I've seen this happen where the other woman was very jealous of the relationship that this single dad had with his daughters. And she wanted him to neglect his daughters and their best interest for her.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I said they got to get the F out of that relationship, get their feelings out of that relationship, and really remember what their responsibility, where their loyalty lies.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, your loyalty should lie, yes, if you're married, you're cleaved to your spouse. But your children still depend on you. We're not talking about grown kids, people. We're not talking about grown kids. There's something that happens after the child graduates from college and they do all they got to do. Now they got to learn how to be an adult. But when these children are dependent on you for their livelihood because they can't make it on their own, then you need to ensure that you had that conversation with your spouse that my child was here first. And at the end of the day, I'm still going to love my child. I love you, but I love my child too, and we have to, especially if the other person bringing another child into the marriage, and so now you got two siblings. So I have to love your child, and we gotta love my child. So there should be there should be no line right there with saying, well, I love my child more than I love yours. I don't know your child, but I know mine. But we still have to love each other, love these kids, keep the children in a loving environment. And so,
absolutely, and
kill these kind of distractions right now, because this kind of stuff right here will come back to bite people in the behind. Wow. Yeah. You got anything else you want to add to it?
Absolutely. Well, Kev, I think we, after exploring and having dialogue, we were able to probably get to the bottom of this, perhaps. And like I said, at the end of the day, I've seen these cases. I've seen these cases on several occasions where you're going to love my kids. I don't know about yours, but you're going to love mine. And we've got to make sure that we explore that dynamic in the dating process, because, if you don't and you just think that, oh, she's a great mom to her kids, so she automatically going to love mine. That ain't always the case. That is not an automatic.
You about to open up another conversation.
I'm not about to open it up. I'm going to close it. We're going to close it.
That's another topic for another day right there.
A whole topic for another day. That's a live. I think we can do a live. Y'all know we go live on Instagram. We go live.
Yeah, we do go live on Instagram, y'all. Y'all just got to be on the lookout. Yes. If y'all on Chanel's IG page or my IG page, we can find down in the description. Y'all links our IG page. You will also show it on the screen here. But just look out there. You'll see us pop up live every now and then. Just give y'all a little treat, let y'all know the behind the scenes of the back and forth. But on the IG, you don't have all this flash and this glamour like you see it right now. You get me and Chanel in our straight up regular smegular, looking like we do. Ain't no fancy lighting, nothing. We just on the cell phone looking at it. So, but yeah, if y'all see us out there, come on out there and check us out on the back and forth live. And there go my dogs barking right now. I'm sure they want to be on the live too. So
they want to be live.
Yeah. So, but before we go, Chanel, because this has been another great topic, make sure that you all hit the like, subscribe, and notification button like we told y'all at the beginning, so y'all know when we put new content out there. And please share this with somebody else out there too, because somebody out there needs to hear this. I know who they are. I hate to say I don't know who this is for. I know who this is for, and they know who you are. Thank you for showing up, because you showed up. Thank you, because we got you. We got you to come over here and look at it. But Chanel, I'm going to tell these people to stay safe and be blessed. What you got?
Continue to put God first, y'all. Continue just to put God first in every single thing you do, especially when you're bringing someone new into your family. Check with God first about them. Okay?
And if you don't, you're going to make sure you guys get the F out. We get on.